Hey everybody, welcome back to Hard Knocks Games YouTube channel. We're going to be talking about my latest project today that I'm starting. Anybody who knows me knows I've collected Warhammer miniatures for a long time, old fantasy stuff since the early 90s. On a recent nostalgia trip, I dug out all my Empire and human models in the efforts to make a new Kings of War army. Because, you know, we always see the cool armies on parade. Well, I want to do kind of like a display piece style baggage train with, like, you know, some cooks or some supply wagons or something, just to have, like, just to do. Also, what has influenced that is all these badass WizKids models that have come out with the D&D line that have like carts and townspeople, and we've done some unboxing of some of these things before, and this will give me an excuse to like paint them up and do some things. So we're gonna go through these, but before we get into that, speaking of Kings of War, I want to say thanks to everybody who showed up for our Sword of Kings tournament over Labor Day weekend. Everybody had a great time. Thank you all for being there, and we look forward to doing it again next year. And without further ado, we'll get into it. One of the things I wanted to do, just because this isn't really part of my baggage train, but they got a cool Trebuchet. And it's a little big for a Kings of War base because I think their war machine's got to be on 50mm bases. But I just like how this thing looks. And we're going to take it out of the package. So first impressions, I could do a little work with a heat gun to straighten these out. Probably have to do that because they're bending a little bit. A lot of these WizKids minis, because of the plastic that they make them out of, certain protrusions and stuff will just bend naturally. But if you've got a heat gun that you can use, you can straighten them out, and it'll help for a little while. And eventually they'll probably sag back into that shape again, and you'll have to straighten them out again. That is the hazard of these figures. But for the price point, I think this fella's $30. That's not bad, and the scale's pretty good too. Let me get one of my, there's a Games Workshop mini beside it for scale purposes. So that actually looks like a pseudo appropriately sized war machine for the scale. It looks like it is actually something that could fling something over a castle wall. So I can appreciate that. Pre-primed, as they all are with Vallejo primer. And as we discussed before, this stuff works great with contrast paints. And as you join me on my journey to paint these things, we're going to do that a lot. Not seeing a lot of crazy mold lines on it. Nothing that's obvious. There's a few here, so we'll sand those off when we get to the painting process. I've seen a lot worse come out of a box. This is neat. All right, so we're going to do it with the Kingdom Retainers. And I'll tell you why I picked this piece more than anything. I mean, not just for the cool, like, peasant models that are in it, but what it's got is it looks like a war table with a big map on it and, like, some little pieces to go on it, like little castle towers. So I am so looking forward to painting this up and using it for, like, just a display piece, having, like, generals and stuff standing around it with a map of whatever's going on. This is what I'm looking forward to right here. Say, Wayne, you bought that one set, that $40 set, for one piece? You bet I did. ASMR plastic noises. Oh yes. The piece de la resistance of this box. It is a map table. Got a little bit of a cant to it. I don't know if we can straighten that out or not because I feel like it's in the mold of the piece, but that's okay. We were discussing here maybe putting some magnets underneath the table, that way that these little, these little tower pieces, you got round towers and square towers, could be possibly magnetized to this with some tiny magnets so you can move them around and stuff. So I'm excited about this. This right here got me stoked. And I think this guy goes with that map table. That'll be a good piece to use. All right. Next piece, got a dude with a shovel, some rocks or something. Maybe it's poop. I don't know. Maybe he's cleaning a horse stall. But I like that. Got a guy with a loaf of bread, because I believe this is a cool bread oven. And like the forge that we had before it, it's got a spot for LED and a little clear plastic piece to light up. You can stain with things, and he's putting some bread in there. I don't know if this will be part of our baggage train or not, because I don't see an army like picking up like a whole brick oven to move it with them. But I'm probably going to paint this anyway just because it's a cool piece and I like little townspeople and miniatures just to have. So we'll see what happens. Ah, yeah, here's a companion piece to the war table. She's got the little shuffleboard grabber to like move the little castle pieces around. So that's cool. Mixing up something. Might go with the baker. Not sure. Probably. I'm not exactly sure the purpose of the ring of fire in the castle retainers piece. I don't know. That seems like it more go with like a carnival or a wizard's thing. But it's a neat piece regardless. It starts with the solid frame and then goes to the clear plastic so you can use some washes to paint this up like fire and it looked translucent. So it's a really cool little piece. Like I said, don't know why it's in a castle retainer box, but I mean, hell, you might have a ring of fire in your castle. Stonks. No prisoner to go in them, but you know, you get the idea. Table with a bolt with a basin on it. Got two, what I can assume are supposed to be desks, maybe crates. I'm thinking desks just by the way it's oriented and the flatness of the top. So that would go, maybe goes beside the war room table. Not sure. We'll see how that develops. Campsite flags, the mark like the command tent. Those are definitely going to be used. Those are going to be cool. My old Empire theme was Averland, so a lot of yellow and black and sun emblems, if I could speak. So I'm going to do some fun stuff with these too. I'm not sure. This guy's like a jailer maybe. I'm thinking this thing in his hand is supposed to be a ring of keys. I mean, the impression is there that maybe it's keys, but it's definitely not very crisp. Other than that, looks cool. Little jailer figure. Don't know if I'll use him or not, but he'll get painted someday. And now we got the various bits and bobs that come in these WizKids sets. We got a pile of netting, maybe. I think it's netting. Got a pile of rope. A second pile of rope. Pile of poop. So that was dung. That was poop he's shoveling. So yeah, horse poop, dung pile. Cool. Campfire. Another bouquet. Bucket. A broom. A shovel. And a loose shield. So there's a lot of options here. I have a lot of fun with this. We'll move on to our third box. All right. And the Adventurer's Campsite. Ooh. Yeah, fun stuff. We got two horses that are saddled for some reason. So if they're meant to be cart horses, I don't know why they'd have these saddles on them. Not sure. Mileage may vary. We may do some different horses because you can see the... So we got the cart, which has this limber on it. And I'm not sure if this is supposed to be set up to go with these or not, or if it's just to give the impression of them being there. But we'll probably do something a little different. Like this camp's obviously going to be parked anyway, so it's not going to be a huge deal. I like this cart. I like the design. I like the attention to detail. Like all the WizKids stuff, it's got a little extra flash in some places that's going to have to get cleaned up, sanded off. I mean, if all I got to do is clean a little bit of mold leavings up and they're already ready to paint, like this saves so much time. It's good that it has a little bit of flex and it won't break as easy coming in and out of like a foam case and stuff. Or in my case, just sitting on a shelf. This is going to be a lot of fun to paint. Horses, definitely going to have a base to stand up on. Even trimming the flash points off their foot. This one is a peg point. I don't think it's supposed to be flash, so you can like drill into the base to have it stand on there, which is what I'll probably do. Because both of them have a good solid round peg point on the bottom. I don't like this piece, this chunk piece they've got like on the chest here. It's going to take some putty work to kind of fill that in because it looks like they might have got, that might be the injection point of the mold. For how much you pay versus what you're getting, I mean, who cares? That's awesome. We got two identical weapon racks, which I think is cool. This will work well for like, you know, showing like an army base camp / baggage train. I might add a little bit more to these or make some of my own just because it is Empire themed and they do have handguns and black powder weapons. So might add a little bit to it. Some treasure chests for the pay cart because soldiers got to get paid. Campfire, nice. It's got the clear plastic again. A keg that's tapped, and like all their barrels, they have a mold line right across the middle that we'll have to do a little bit with to kind of try and hide that a little bit better. Got a bag. Don't know how much use that'll be, but you know, It's flat on one side, so it looks like it's laying on the ground. Some supplies, got some little sacks and like maybe some sacks of flour or grain. A book. I think it's supposed to be like a wizard's spell book, since this is an adventurer's campsite. And we got Empire Wizards, so we might do something with that for like having like the wizard's camp area. A cook fire. I guess a cooking pot on a tripod, which you can put over the little fire and it fits. So that's neat. It's a scroll. And boy, that's probably gonna get lost. And last but not least, we got some backpacks. These will be good for like some porter figures or something that whenever I decide exactly how this is all gonna come together, I've just got a rough idea right now. And we'll still be on here with doing our product reviews and our how-tos interspersed with this project. So don't think that I'm leaving us hanging for our regular programming here. I just needed something to work on and focus on. I've been a little burnt out lately, to be honest about it. But anyway, stay with us. Join us on this journey. Bye.